Alright, so if you're here, we're going to be talking about our HH, which is level 65 raid. And we're going to be talking about first the stats before we watch this clip of me doing a hidden hideout run today. And so you want at least 60% crit rate, closer to 70% the better. And the reason why is that you want to be critting as much as possible. And you should focus on crit rate before crit damage, because what's the point of having crit damage if you don't crit? Moving on, accuracy should be at least 1800. And the reason why accuracy needs to be 1800 is that way you do not miss. It's actually 1810 precisely. Armor break, you want at least 20% to get accepted into parties. The way you get armor break is to be using Melter or the armor break brooches from the market that you can buy. And so the mega ones give you 3% each. So if you use all 5 of those, 3% each, that's 15% right there. You reroll your AOV weapon, you get 5% there, that's 20%. Easy as that. Next one you need to get is cooldown. Cooldown you would preferably get as close to 30% as you can. 20% might get you in a party right now. So these numbers that I'm putting out, they are not like the recommended numbers. These are the numbers that can get you in a party right now because everyone is new. But in a couple months, you're going to have higher numbers to get into parties quickly. Otherwise, you're going to have a long time waiting. Moving on to the actual boss, there's going to be 3 main attacks I'm going to be talking about. The first one is when he slams on the ground, which I'll be pausing the video and explaining as we go. The next one is going to be the bomb attack, which will explode through the whole map. And then the last one will be, we call it rain, which is you just take damage, ticking damage over time. We're going to go ahead and watch this video. So we just started here. We teleported and he's going to jump. So he either does 2 things at the beginning. He's either going to jump to the middle and do the rain attack, or he's going to start slamming. So as we can see here, he jumps. So this will be rain. And again, this will do ticking damage. If you don't, go to these blue circles. So we'll wait to the next blue circle. So if once you touch this blue circle, you'll get a buff right here where my mouse is, towards the top. The second one from the right, and it makes it to where you don't take any damage here. Now, if you're Lily, you can heal up here, and you can tank them, or if you use the 100% HP. Then all this is just fight the boss, and this is slam attack. So whenever he says, beware, witness to my tremendous power, or when he pulls his thing up, he's going to do his slam attack. So this one is very simple. You jump, you auto attack, and you stay in the air. He's going to slam down his hammer, and if you're on the ground when he does that, you take a lot of damage. He slams a total of 4 times. Now, a thing to note is the 4th one is not in rhythm. So the first 3 is like slam, 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 slam. So it takes a little longer for the 4th one. And if you get hit by this, it will not one-shot you. The only way that this slam attack will one-shot you is if you're in a skill that grounds you. So that would be like Lily Guillotine, Cruel Slash, anything that like your character is hard stuck to the ground. It'll one-shot you. Okay. Moving on. The other way is if you shift and get hit double. These are just normal attacks. You don't have to worry about any of this. Just don't stand in it. So all these normal attacks are just normal melee attacks that you have to dodge. So dodge. It'll be very, very common just for me to be talking about. Same thing, normal attacks. So HH is a very easy boss once you understand the mechanics. There's only 3 special attacks. So you could tell by his animation. If he jumps, he's going to do one of 2 things. He's either going to do the rain, or he's going to do his bomb attack. So if it says you worms, or the screen starts to get darker immediately, you know it's going to be rain. So get ready to find the blue circles. So here we go. So there we go. So blue circle, you just touch it. I didn't touch that one in time. Okay, I touched that one. I ran right over to that one. I'm going to heal with Scythe. I didn't even have to touch the last one. Now, same one, ground attack. Key thing to point out there. I'm on the ground right now. I'm using an animation skill where I'm grounded. I should die here. Now, the only reason I'm not dying here is I use Nova. You have invincibility. So up here I have invincibility. Okay. Just normal killing. Alright, something to note here now, since we're at 80 bars, I know you can't see it. but just pretend you can see it. It's at 79. At 80 bars, the boss is going to get a huge buff where you can't really damage him. You can damage him, but he gets a lot of defense. And someone has to go into the core, which we will see later on. And all you do in the core is you hit balls to the middle. And then after you hit enough balls in, you can come out and everyone can kill it like normal with no defense. Now, the major thing to note about this is that on 80 bars, you cannot use any skills that buff you or your team. If you use a skill that buffs you or your team, you will freeze the whole team. Not just you, you'll freeze everyone. And you could lead to your teammates getting killed. So let's continue on. So as you can see, there's a defense, so we can't use any buffs. If we use a buff, we'll get stunned. So here I think I'm gonna show you. Yeah. So this one I did on purpose to show you guys. So this is what happens when you use a skill when you're not supposed to. Everyone gets these crystals on you, and you can't do anything. So if he's doing his ground attack and you do this, everyone will die. Everyone. Next one. Okay, so he's gonna jump, so this is either bomb or rain. So it says, wither under my wrath, so we know it's gonna be the bomb. Now, there's two things you could do here. If you have a SV card, like EO, Rosca, you can use Hysteria when the bomb is about to explode, when your screen starts to turn white. If you do not have these cards, you have to actually run to a pillar. If we look at the mini map, we can see a little dot here. That means that there's a tombstone there, and we have to hide behind it. Otherwise, you will die. So I use my Hysteria here so I don't die. Everyone else ran to there. So again, ground attack. So jump, just stay in the air. You might see people jumping down faster and then coming. And that's just because they spam their spacebar. Now here we have some totems. These totems are not very important. The only one to really worry about will be the green one and the ice one. So the ice one, if you walk into it, it just freezes everyone that's around it, like you can see here. The green one will take away all your mana or SF. The red one burns you over time, but it's not that much damage. So then all you do until 50 bars is just normally kill it. So this is another special attack here. I forgot to mention this at the beginning, actually. He has a spinning attack. He likes to be Garen from League. And in this, you could either run away or you could use your 42 skill to dodge it all to get super armor. Or Hysteria if you have Hysteria. Oh, look, a new follower, Pog. Oh, another one. Oh, same one. All right, so we're getting down. We're getting closer to the 50 bars. I'm gonna skip through a little bit of this. It's just gonna be a bunch of repetition killing it here. All right, so we're about to get to 50. So once we get to 50 here, he's gonna get a defense buff. Now here, you have more band skills. This time it's not a buff. This time it's your level 42 skill and then another skill for each character. Each characters are different. In the description, I'll link a picture of what skills are banned. For Lily, it is Tornado and Guillotine that are banned. If you use either of those, your team will be frozen. Then it's rinse and repeat. Just follow. If you know all the patterns, it's just time and you'll kill it. It's also someone else used a banned skill here. It's also worthy to note that you only get three lives in this mode. If you die 3 times, you can't revive unless someone gives you a team reviver. All right. So once we see this defense bar thing down, okay, we could use all of our skills now. All right, ground attack. So just jump in the air. 8. And then now we don't have to worry about any more of the band skills until 20 bars. I dodged the blue totem there because I didn't want to get frozen. So I quickly looked at it to talk about in the video, which I already talked about the blue totem. Okay, and then at 20 bars, I'm going to talk about this while we're doing it. Here we just use Nova Run Away. At 20, when it has 20 bars left, you can't use any of the skills that were previously banned. So that'll be Buff, your 42, and then Tornado for Lily. Okay, so ground attack, jump in the air. The other thing you can do, you can actually dodge on the ground, which I think I do in one of these. I might have already missed it, but you can actually shift on the ground if you time it perfectly. Okay, and then here's another bomb attack because lump of charcoal. So either you have to use your desire worker or you have to run to the tombstone. So I look around for a second and I don't see it, so I just use my desire worker. I was trying to show it off in the video, but I couldn't. I didn't look the right way. It was actually to my right. I was looking to the left. Okay, and then we just get it down to 20 bars. So we're gonna fast forward to 20 bars. I don't want this to be too long a video. I'm gonna go into core here for you guys. So this is core, right here. So you'll put the balls into the middle, and all you do to hit the balls in the middle is you just auto attack them. Now here's the most important thing to know about core. If you're doing core, you hit only one ball in at a time. Now you could take multiple in. I actually do core really fast. I should have went slower, but you could take multiple and then you hit one in at a time. So I hit one, and then this last one will do it. Done. That's how fast core can be if you do it correctly. If you hit more than one in at a time, it doesn't do, you only get credit for if you hit one. Now, this attack doesn't really happen that much, but it's happening now, so we'll talk about it. So here, if we look at the minimap, we can see lots of red icons. He's summoning little, people call this different ones. Some people call it trains, some people call it race. I personally call them trains or trucks because there's a little guy driving around on them if you look at them close enough. And they just drive through the map. Now, before you had to memorize the exact location, which is 480, 460, and you wouldn't get hit by them. But it's got a lot easier now. It actually shows red markers on the ground. If we look at the ground, we see red markers. So just watch the ground if you see him doing that attack. Okay, so here we could use every ability for the rest of the fight because there's no more core phases. Core is only at 80, 50, and 20. And then this is just easy as pie. Just rinse and repeat. Follow the same strategy. Dodge the special attacks and just kill them. So most important part is learning when to use your 42 skill. And most of the time I use my 42 skill after he uses, after he already uses his ground slam. Because he won't ground slam and then ground slam right away. That's most of the time when I use mine. Or when I see him using a regular attack, I would use it. As long as you can finish your animation in time for the next attack to come, you'll be fine. And here is the kill. And if you're lucky enough, you'll get a drop. I believe I do get a drop. I do get a drop here. So that's HH in a nutshell. Oh, that's the end of it. So just make sure you learn the special attacks, and then that's it. That's it. This raid is very, very easy. Get your stats correctly. You could reroll your armor, your weapons with the AoV manic fragments. So there's no reason why you should not have better stats on your gear because it doesn't cost anything. You get the fragments every time you run it. It takes 5 fragments to reroll. If you want to keep one stat, it takes 10. So you should have better stats for this raid. The last thing is make sure to like, follow, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a comment in the section if you don't understand something in there, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.